It's darkest between the stars. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Wham! The world is getting colorful again. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. Let's see. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. Clarifies that rigging the odds in your favor in preparation of the takeover is one thing, but collateral damage is another. Here's the first line of defense. It's a bomb lobber. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Everything's clocking together. Never know until you try. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. So wants revenge on those who caged them, but trust you'll take care of it. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Here's the second line of defense. Better stay clear of the red ray. Red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the... Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. He had a feeling you'd get along with the Myriad tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance. You seem to share the same values as the Myriad tribe. You both have the same optimistic outlook on life. At least, for now. But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a stand against the World Eaters. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of. He says the time has come to confront the jumbo puff at the end of the west route. Gizmo is working on making his Mekton strong enough to endure the oxygen-deprived dead zone all the way out to the World Eater. You should get over there and see what you can do to help. He knows things that you need to know. The rival tribe still has 2 outposts left. It's up to you to change that. Says you used to keep to yourself, but now at least has plenty to do, so no worries. He knows things that you need to know. Seems surprised you have to go. Keep focused on what you can do today. Tomorrow's already gone. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. It's the chug yard. Bolted shut, definitely not open. The end is coming to the world, and everything else. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Right where it comes. Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Better days. Finished him off. Let's see. Control your destiny, or someone else will. A quick end. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa-Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Thinks that's more than most are. It's hard to keep to a path like that. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mectons strong enough to fight the Jumbo. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. You can see a lot farther now than at night. The air's too thin here. They're short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. Too tight, and the rope tips. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. From a cockpit, the Grease Monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Night covers the land. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Pull, go on!
Immo. Tiava. Domosakula imabella. Yamafore domedahunga.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn mirror. He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them. But enough of that, right?
Dana und dieser Fehler.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Some.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
Como uno shalafi. Some. Witze im Jahr.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Baran udinamau.
Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been.
Und Lumpfaubsor.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter.
Khalifav Cairo.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Why ad Fulia Haya Guga.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Kalba Tudu Baba.
Says you stick to the hunting and shots present themselves later. Let's see. Conserve your wind. Why walk on your own legs? Wait, it's the scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Starting to add up. Take matters back into your own hands. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. You're a mighty hunter. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. For when you're committed to cutting. Skronky Stomper, you make piloting this big metal thing look easy. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job. Take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the Mekton on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says talking to you was interesting.